Hey everybody, welcome back to World History class with Mr. Finn. Today we are going to be continuing our Egypt conversation. Now if you remember, let's get right into it, we were dealing with 3 kingdoms. This is how they measured their time. When we look back at Egyptian history, the course of it, we break it down into these 3 kingdoms. Now, we had the Old, Middle, and New, which you already have in your notes from last class. So today was more about what was life like for the Egyptians. Now, for people like you and I, we would probably be working the land, farming, making crops from grain and barley because we have a population now. We have large cities that are along the Nile River, if you remember, and we need a lot of food to allow for all these people to live in one spot. So, your life as an Egyptian would be around the years of 12 to 14. Guess who would be getting married? You guys. Marriage was happening younger. Lifespans were not as long traditionally on average. Some people still live to be, 60, 70, even 80 years old, even at those times. But for the everyday person like you and I, our lifespan would be much shorter, probably into the 40s. And so life started to happen for you a little bit faster than it would today. So you would be married around the ages of 12 to 14. You would be in a monogamous relationship, which means you would have one partner. So it's kind of like today when people get married, they get married to one person. And you would work the land. You would be a farmer probably. Some people were artisans. That's a term. An artisan is basically an artist, but it could be in a lot of different areas. So it's not just painting or drawing like we think of art today, but an artisan might be working with pottery, with beads, painting. All of those things would apply to an artisan, and they would, create these bowls and cups and whatever, just stuff, making stuff for the everyday people. So you would have a home, probably made out of mud brick. You would have a partner at an early age, and you would more than likely be farming. However, you might be someone who was working with crafts of some sort. Now, what is something else that we know about Egyptians? Egyptians had a lot of different gods. So they had a polytheistic religion, just like we talked about with ancient Samaria. So they had a very strong belief in religion. It played a role in their everyday lives, even at death. And when you would die, you would be put in the process of long word for you, mummification. Mummification is the process by preserving someone's body so that after death, like the Egyptians believed, you would have all of your parts and you would be able to cross into the afterlife with all of your possessions and all of your body parts and everything like that, because that's what they believed would happen after death. So this is where we get the term mummy. So if you've seen the movie or seen anything referring to mummies, this is what it comes from, mummification. Now, what is this process? So basically, mummification is a person who had passed away would be dried with salt. They would have their organs taken out of their body and placed in jars with them so that they would have them again in the afterlife. They would be wrapped and they would be dried out, and that's what makes what we know today as mummies. Now, this again is for the process of crossing over into the afterworld, having your possessions. Something else, your possessions. So everything that you found valuable would be buried with you so that, again, you would have it in the afterlife. And like the more important you are on the level of people in Egyptian society, the more things you might have. And that's going to be important for the conversation we have about your assignment. But mummification was a very important part of the Egyptian life and afterlife. To finish off Egypt. Egypt is going to last as an empire until 1085 BC. So if you remember, we had King Menes from a previous class around 3100 BC. So if you look at that time frame, This is a long empire. This is a powerful empire. They're going to meet other people around the Mediterranean Sea. They're going to do a lot of trading. They're going to be fairly advanced. So the Egyptians themselves are a very important, very large empire that we see early in world history class. Now, we had pharaohs to get us to the part of your assignment today. I have another long word coming for you. So I'm going to write the word now because this is the person who you are going to look up. Wow. Tutankhamen. That's a long name. Tutankhamen was a pharaoh, meaning he was the king of Egypt, a very famous one. Pharaoh Tutankhamen, King Tut, if you've maybe heard that. Short, because people said, hey, that's a long name. We'll go with King Tut. It's shorter. I can do that. He is going to have a very famous tomb. The tomb meaning where he was buried with all of his things, and it was discovered. And this is where we're going to get the origin of the mummy's curse and things like that. This is why you're going to look it up, because today, guess what you are? Today, you are going to be a tour guide. You are going to be a tour guide, and you're going to tell me about King Tut's tomb. I don't know anything about it. I know nothing. You are going to tell me what I will expect to see, the history of it, how was it discovered, all the things that I might want to know about King Tut's tomb. Again, very famous. So if you use the term, his name, Tutankhamen, here's how you spell tomb, so you can see it. So if you look King Tut's tomb, Tutankhamen tomb, something along those lines, that will help you in your search so you can discover more about it so that you can tell me, the person going on the tour, what I am going to see on this tour. So your assignment today is going to be, tell me what I'm going to see on our tour. You can keep it, let's go with 3/4 page. Meaning it's just more than half a page. It doesn't need to be a full page, but you're going to give me all the information you can find about King Tut's tomb, what it was like, how it was discovered, and what I'm going to see when we go. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you next class.